Unless you learn to face your own shadows, you will continue to see them in others, because the world outside is only a reflection of the world inside you.
How can I wake up my friends and family? So I'm going to answer this question that I get all the time, and it's an answer that sometimes people don't like to hear, but I'm going to explain why I think it's true. So in evolutionary astrology, way back in the 90s, when a guy named Jeffrey Wolf Green founded this type of astrology, which is a type of astrology that I practice, he stated that 70% of the population lives in a consensus state, which is basically a herd mentality. So these are the literal NPCs of the world. So they don't form independent thought. When they want to know what their opinions are on certain topics, they just look to the external world. So these kinds of people will tend to get the most offended when you present them certain views that go outside of their paradigm, because their beliefs actually represent unconscious security needs. So they unconsciously gain security in trusting the mainstream media, celebrities, the experts, the government. They basically can't really think for themselves, so they seek security in outsourcing their opinions to the outer world. And moving from this consensus herd mentality to the next stage, which is an individuated state, is actually often a traumatic process, because instead of trusting the external world like you always have, the government, the authorities, you actually have to learn how to trust self as an inner guidance system instead. And in order to do that, you actually have to decondition and undo a lot of what you thought was true about yourself and the world in the process. So this is a really alienating and lonely process by design, because in order to discover who you are, you actually have to separate from the herd to begin with. And the thing is, you can't actually force people out of this state. It has to come from an inner calling. So it has to come from them realizing that there is something different inside of them that can't be explained by the experts, science, celebrities, government. And in my view, it really takes a certain ripeness of the soul to even want to go down that path, because it's not easy. Most people will actually refuse the call of their individuation again and again and again, because their unconscious security needs to stay in the unknown, the known rather, of the consensus is so strong. So you don't want to hate them for that. It's actually a necessary stage in their own soul's development. And this is why trying to wake up family, friends, and others in general is almost always a failed project. And really, how I feel about it, the best thing you can do in these times is focus on your own soul evolution and find something unique about you that you can bring back to the world. And the reason why I'm saying that is because it is the most highly individuated and spiritualized people who actually create the next consensus. And they don't do this by forcefully trying to wake up the people who are asleep. They do this by bringing back their true essence, their true nature, and their soul gifts back to the consensus, where they can uplift, inspire, and show people there's a different way to be.
Beloved Masters, the refined frequencies of the New Age are having a profound effect on how you view yourselves. As you learn to take back your power, set boundaries, and reclaim a sense of self-worth, it will also have an intense effect in your relationships with others, especially romantic relationships. In the past, you have had many unresolved issues that created what could be called imbalanced or vulnerable blemishes in your emotional body and chakra system, especially chakras 1 through 4. You had many unresolved issues within you in the form of guilt, fear, anger, a sense of abandonment, and of being unlovable. All of these thought forms have a vibrational frequency, and you radiated those frequencies of unworthiness out into the world. See these energies radiating forth in front of you and all around you in an infinity sign, whereby they are picked up by those who are resonating to the same frequency levels, and thus are drawn into your life in one way or another. Unconsciously, you attracted to you those who were also coming from a viewpoint of neediness. You hoped they could fix everything for you and make you happy, but in reality all this kind of relationship creates is more friction through feelings of lack and an inner sense of unworthiness. In the past, most relationships were based on physical attraction, which usually fades rather quickly if there is not more depth to the attraction. There were other disempowering components as well, such as dependency, a desire for security, or an attempt to find validation of self-worth outside oneself. Unresolved issues and problems are magnified when someone comes into your life that mirrors these negative situations back to you. These issues and problems invariably create friction, which is not necessarily a bad thing if you recognize them, are willing to acknowledge them, and you agree to make a concerted effort to change them for the better. The emphasis now is on returning to wholeness within yourself through taking personal responsibility for your actions, and through building self-esteem, and of a sense of worthiness via your solar heart center in cooperation with your soul self and higher self. Truth and integrity will be the foundation of any relationship of the future. First, you must accept who you are at the present time as you strive to become the very best person you can possibly be through self-examination of your attitudes, beliefs, habits, and your weaknesses. You will learn that the foundation of a lasting relationship with others is to first have a love affair with yourself, whereby you strive to become more loving and lovable. Eventually you realize that you are love personified, and you do not need anyone else to validate that truth for you because, deep within, you have claimed it. You tap into your sacred heart and that wellspring of unconditional love within your own divine God spark, and you remember that there is a never-ending supply of love/light available to you through your light connection with Source. That is your divine heritage, dear hearts. Why not claim it? It takes a strong, mutual commitment, without blame, judgment, or ego-driven accusations to work out personal differences, and to arrive at mutually beneficial conclusions that are fair to all parties involved. In a growing, evolving relationship, no longer will there be an emphasis on who is right or who is wrong, but on compromise, and a desire to meet the needs of everyone involved in the most equitable way. No area of your life can remain stagnant, especially for those of you who are dedicated to your spiritual path and soul evolution. It is not always possible for those in a relationship to grow or evolve at the same pace. However, it is possible to not feel threatened, to remain in a supporting role, and to allow those around you to develop at their own pace, if you have established a sacred union within yourself. This sacred union is returning to balance and harmony within your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies, as well as reclaiming the attributes and virtues of your masculine and feminine natures. The strictly defined roles of males and females are gradually being altered, whereby a blending of sexually defined roles is becoming more the norm. Once more, the powerful radiance of the goddess is being showered down upon the earth and humanity. The status of women is rapidly changing, and masculine/feminine equality will become the norm when both men and women claim their intrinsic masculine/feminine natures. The battle of the sexes has its origins within, for humanity has struggled for eons to reunite the god and goddess within. Women are learning to reclaim their power, however, they know they must use this gift with love and compassion as an overlay. Those in the male body are gradually learning to allow the unconditional love of the goddess to light the fire of compassion and gentleness within. They are learning that there is strength in creativity, intuition, and a willingness to allow oneself to be gentle and open-hearted. As you strive for spiritual maturity, many facets of your life will change. There will be a strong desire to support one another, along with an intense yearning to grow and expand, even if at times your paths may take different directions. You will claim the truth that you are bonded together at a soul level, and you can never truly be separated. True sexual union is and can be an incredible spiritual experience, not just the joining of two bodies. Divine sexuality calls for a total opening of the heart, a blending of the mental, emotional, and physical facets of your being, which results in a profound, lasting experience. This type of union can result in a true sense of unity if you are in harmony at a deep soul level, one with another. You must remove etheric barriers or filters you have placed around your heart and emotions if you are to be able to receive and radiate unconditional love. You must confront your fears about losing those you love, and of disappointments and betrayals of the past, which often manifest as a fear of intimacy or of making a commitment to another. As you learn to believe in and trust yourself, you will develop a fundamental trust in others, and others will place their faith and trust in you, for trust begets trust. It is not appropriate to sacrifice your dreams and desires for another or for the people in your life to make sacrifices for you. There must be a common goal with everyone involved participating in an agreed-upon manner, sharing the load and reaping the rewards. Each of you belongs to a huge, complex soul family, and you have surely played many diverse roles with each other down through the ages. The people you are involved with in this lifetime, or who come into your life so you can learn the lessons of life, are a part of a greater ongoing cosmic drama. When you judge another, you need to be aware that, in truth, you are only judging yourself. You have played all the parts during your journey throughout this universe: lovers, friends, mother, father, sister, brother, son, and daughter. You are integrating all the attributes of the multiple parts you have played: the strength and wisdom of a father, the gentle nurturing and loving care of a mother, the passion, commitment, and companionship of a lover, the steadfast loyalty of a friend, and the joyful, light-hearted interactions between a sister, brother, son, or daughter. It is the time of reuniting, of coming together, the beginning of returning to oneness. You can no longer hide behind a cloak of fear or isolation, beloveds. It is time to make a conscious commitment, first to yourself and to your God self, and then to those around you with whom you are destined to experience the dance of new life. You must make a conscious, detailed agreement within yourself about what you desire and expect from those around you, and then you must be open to discussing your desires and expectations with all the people with whom you interact. In the future, as relationships unfold, deeper and deeper levels of understanding and commitment will blossom forth, for everyone will be willing to speak from the heart with spirit as their guide, rather than the ego. As many of you know, I have been honored to give many of you personal galactic readings over the years. It has been my great pleasure, and I must state that it has also been a blessing and a gift from my beloved messenger, for it has taken up much of her time and energy to bring forth these messages to you. During these times of great change and of great opportunities, I am sending an open galactic reading to you all so that you may know how very special you are, and the wondrous gifts that await you. Dearly beloved, it is wondrous to watch as you remember and bring forth all the gifts and wisdom you have stored within your brain structure. You have such vast experience to draw on, dear one, not only from your sojourns in the higher realms, but from your earthly experiences, as well. It is time for you to remember that the earth is not your home. You have soared throughout this universe, and you have always eagerly stepped forward to volunteer for a new assignment, no matter how difficult. Your earthly experiences have been a wondrous variety of co-creative endeavors, and you have made slow but steady progress toward your true identity as a being of light. It is time for you to realize that you are much more than just the identity you chose in this lifetime. You and those like you are being given an opportunity to integrate the multiple facets of yourselves, and by doing so, you will begin to see how truly powerful and wise you are. All of your trials, tests, and seeming failures have made you the shining, beautiful spirit/human being you are today. When you teach from experience, and you will show by your example how any obstacles can be overcome that others, like you, can triumph over any adversity. This is the time when your soul has reached the furthest most point of its journey of separation, and it is now ready to begin the journey of reunion and integration once more. Your soul has gradually been infused with a divine discontent, which slowly filters into your conscious mind and emotions, and you begin to turn inward in order to tame the ego and reconnect with the soul, your oversoul, and the multiple facets of your higher self. You now have the potential to connect with the many facets of your soul family, your higher self, your many oversouls, and ultimately, your God seed atom, I Am Presence. At a cosmic level, the Supreme Creator is now sending down the radiance of itself via the great central suns. This energy is being filtered down upon Earth in great bursts of living flame of life via the sun of your solar system. Your greatest desire for this lifetime has been to integrate the many facets of your beingness. However, first, they must be healed and harmonized so that they can be filled with light. In this way, you will not have to experience the discomfort, the challenges or the karmic interactions of the third/fourth dimensional experience, for that is the old way. As you allow your divine self to overlight and guide you, more and more inspired thought will come to you. There are many ways to allow spirit to manifest through you, just allow it to happen naturally, dear one. What brings you joy and satisfaction? How do you wish to serve? There are many ways and you have many talents, more than you will acknowledge, but the choice is yours. Just remember it should bring you joy and make your heart sing as you offer others the gifts that have been given you. Your reward will be the light in their eyes, and the joy they express as they, too, allow the integration of spirit to create miracles in their lives. It is time to let go of the painful past. It is time to claim your mastery, to create your own version of paradise, and then to teach others to do the same. Help those who come to you to heal their emotional wounds and their physical bodies, and then they will be ready to listen to the nudgings of spirit. We all are in the times of great change that have been foretold for thousands of years. You carry within the refined vibrational frequencies of the future, and you can make a difference. Draw the love/light of creation from your divine self. Use what you need to bring yourself into harmony and vibrant health, and then allow your gentle heart to radiate the beautiful glow of loving energy to others. Focus on what is right in your world, look for the best in those around you, and that is what you will reinforce and help to create. You can change the world around you, one thought at a time. You have wonderful angelic guides just waiting to assist you. Call on them and together you can create miracles to share with others. Allow us to assist you in fulfilling your mission and to nurture you with our love. I am Archangel Michael.
Your sacred union. It spoke about it as a great lesson for all of us about all of the relationships that we've ever had. This group of people that you are with in this lifetime have been with you so many times. Anyone that's been drawn to you, very few will you not know. And the more that you wake up, the more that you see with the eyes that truly see and hear with the ears that truly hear, you will start recognizing people. You'll feel like you know everybody that comes before your eyes. It is quite remarkable. And you'll get different feelings when you're with different people. So what is this magnificent sacred union? It's for us to bounce off each other, even those that you're not with in the physical, but you're on the Zoom with. Look around and feel the energy of everybody that's on here. How beautiful each person's light is. How different we all look. How we emanate our personal gifts and talents to each other. Our experiences that we share. All of this is helping to reflect on who we are. Remembering our past and who we truly are. As you come to love yourself, honor yourself, respect yourself, there isn't another soul that will be coming near you that won't do the same thing. You see, your experiences with others is a reflection of what you believe inside you. It's like your law that you've written. So if you don't like how you're treated, if you don't like how people speak to you, or that they don't listen to you, or that they treat you with less than respect and honoring you, change your mind inside you and start doing that for yourself. For as you do it to you, so shall it be for you in your outer world. You see? You are creating your experience. And it is so important to take that lesson, that experience, that moment in time that you had during the day and reflect on it. Did it bring you joy? Did it bring you grace? Or did you feel less than? Did you feel uncomfortable? We're learning how to be comfortable in our own skin so that we can be ourselves. Think about all the famous people that you've ever watched on film or on stage or anywhere. They are not afraid to just be them. Some of them are so out there that they're like, make you shake your head. And yet you have to feel a sense that, look at them. They're so brave to just be who they are. So all of the conversations that we've ever had was to help you to understand that you are creating your world. You are bringing people to you so that you can grow. You can reflect on yourself. Eventually, you're only going to see the beauty in everyone. And even though they might have things that they say and do that isn't what you would call perfected, you'll still love them because you'll no longer be judging yourself. And you won't have to judge anyone either because you know the journey. You know what it's like to be feeling like they are. They're hurting inside. And so when you hurt inside, sometimes you lash out at the people around you, or don't even lash out. You just feel their hurt, their pain, and their suffering. You'll learn compassion. It's a very high road. It's a lonely road, very lonely. But all of you have the heart of God. And therefore you will be seeking compassion. And what the great feeling that I can share with you is this, that as you have compassion for those that are not even lovable or likable, you actually get the gift back to yourself, because there's part of ourselves that we don't love yet. We're working on it, but we don't. And because of that, if we can see it in others and choose to see it in others, we'll start seeing it in ourselves. Every gift you give out in love and light comes back to you as well in a return flow to sender. Everything is circular in the world. It all comes back to you. And yes, anybody that you directed it at, if they choose to receive it, they will. If they send it back, you'll still receive it. Nothing is wasted. Nothing. So let me go over some of the points. Returning to wholeness is taking responsibility for our actions. A lot of times, lifetime after lifetime, we punished ourselves for our past. We were so ashamed and angry that we didn't get it, that we come into a lifetime and we smash and bash and hurt ourselves and constantly seeming to have accidents. It's because we're angry. We're unhappy. We feel a sense that we failed and we don't deserve to go forward. This goes back to loving yourself, forgiving yourself, bless yourself. When you do the process to let go of your past, which is so important, first forgive yourself for whatever it is that happened, because you know you created that situation. Forgive yourself and believe that everything happens for the highest good of everyone concerned. I have had times, especially when I was traveling on the trips with other ladies, where I would be called to say something to one of them, and I would not feel good about what was said. And I'd go off by myself and ask my higher self, why do you always use me to go after this lady? And the answer was, you are equal energy, both of you, and no one else would have the ability to change her mind or her actions or how she feels. And in that, I understood why it was always me. Don't try to control your life. Go out and live your life. Have fun. Go out into like an adventure each day. You never know what's coming your way. Go out with a good attitude. See what God's going to show you today, who God's going to bring to you today. I'm referring to your higher self, of course, that part of God who's in charge. It is a wonderful journey. Look at it in that light. Do your best. Whatever you do your best. Give your all. Don't do anything halfway. It doesn't serve whoever you're doing it for. It doesn't serve you. This is how you make your way in the world. This is how you come to be a god or goddess. Not holding back to showing your gifts and talents, your kindness, your love. Not everybody's awake enough to even grasp this conversation, but you are. So we lived in our first 4 chakras beneath the heart for many, many centuries, working through all of the lower survival type of lifetimes. A lot of things of being unloved and unworthy, all of that was always in our face, always finding ourselves in a very troubled space. And it's how we learned and to get past that. Once you reached your heart chakra and above, now you're cooking. Now you're ready to look at your spirituality as you have gotten through all of the dense 3 and 4D material. There's always going to be something come up. And as you have worked on yourself, you don't have to beat yourself up to do the process. It'll come very naturally. And eventually, because you took care of the real deep, dark stuff, you'll be able to do this in 1, 2, 3. You don't have to go into screaming fits, bending your steering wheel, or any other act of release. A lot of people physically, they'll run it off. They'll get outside and grumble and shovel the dirt and do whatever it is because they're trying to work out all of the stress and all of the pain. However you want to purge, go for it. But remember, in the end, always bring in the light to replace that energy that you let go of. That light is what will be moving freely through the channel that you are. We are channels of light. So, taking back your power is taking back your self-worth. You have to know that you have an integral part in God's plan. If you were not here, the plan could not be complete. I advise you to go out and live your life freely and fully. Take away the fear. What if they don't like me if I say this or do this? Well, if you felt good about it and your intention, which is most of the results are from your intention, if that is good and holy and seeking to be the light in the world, then that's exactly what you'll give yourself. And that's exactly what you'll give them. Because once you set your intent for good, that's exactly what will come out. Even though the conversation may not feel good, and you're wondering, as I did many times, why did I have to say that? It's because we don't know the grand plan of why we're in each other's life. Are we an agitator or are we there to hold the hand of someone suffering? It constantly is both, to tell you the truth. We play many, many parts in one lifetime. And you can imagine over the many centuries and eons how many parts we've played. Truth and integrity in relationships. We have been living as humans more than we have been our spiritual self. And we base a lot on what someone looks like, how much they weigh or don't, how much beauty in their face or their body, all very physical, very 3D, 4D. When you seek the beauty of one's heart, they will become absolutely beautiful to you. It isn't about the physical vessel that we built for ourselves. It's about the heart, the love, the blessing, the kindness, the caring, all the things that you would love for someone to do for you. But if you're not doing that for yourself, you will draw people to you that will beat you up to show you what you're doing to yourself. Parents, especially, have that duty. Show the kids what they came in with so that they can be aware of it and hopefully work through it and realize the gift that they were given. If we do not work on ourselves, and we have problems in the past with certain people that we've drawn to ourselves, we're going to find that same problem in anyone we get together with until we heal it in ourselves. So Billy Bob leaves Mary Jane and goes off with another person and finds that that person's giving them the same problem. And then the next one and the next one. Because they're not owning that the problem is partially theirs. They're blaming it on the other person. And it's not true. We come together to work. That's what they call holy matrimony. Marriages are for working couples to help each other see where we have bruising, where we have self-hate, where we do not function well. And we can take that, what we call dysfunctional family, and transform it into something very, very beautiful. It takes work, a conscious effort, not blaming anybody, taking responsibility for our part, and watch the magic of how everything transforms, and you will not see it in the same light. You will not. Now, contracts do end. And when we've served each other and that contract is done, we can move on. We can move on, and then we'll find ourselves being friends with the person we couldn't live with. It's quite remarkable. But it's because once the holy matrimony contract is done and we move on to somebody else or a group of people or just being with ourselves, we start to look at everything differently. We realize there's no one to blame for the problems in our life, but who? Ourselves. Ourselves. Just long enough to be able to heal it. Just long enough to be able to love yourself and learn from it. You are the blessing in the world. You are a great gift to humanity. You are not of this earth. You spent much more time on other planets. Some of us had a lot of desire to work here. with those that were actually born here and to help them evolve. Others had other planets that they were very much involved in. But that wasn't a single life. You're working on many planes in many other experiences at the same time. Let's concentrate on 3D and 4D mastery so that we can go back to doing the higher planes. So, what else did I want to talk about? Yes. When you do love yourself, when you've come to a place of such peace inside, what you're going to find is that you don't need anybody outside of you to acknowledge that you're lovable. You don't need that outside love like you did before when you were needy and you needed that reassurance that you're lovable and people love you and need you and want you around. Once you love yourself, you're self-contained. The love from God is all you need. Yes, we need people around us to enjoy as well, but it isn't in the same way. We're not needy anymore. We're perfectly comfortable and at peace with ourselves. We can spend hours and hours alone and not feel alone, because truly you never are alone. We always have people around us, beings of light. And some of us, we remember beings that were not so light, but we worked our way out of that. We lifted our frequency, we made our choices, and now we're working for God. We are working for the light. We did it. We did it. When things go wrong, look at it as an opportunity. Don't feel stuck or that you're going backwards or that things aren't working out. What am I going to do? Trust your own judgment. If you get inspired to do something or to go somewhere or to meet somebody or to try another occupation or whatever it is for you, do it fearlessly. Just do it. Test it out. You're not stuck. You can change your mind. Give it a shot. Was that inspiration from God within? Was it a thought I came up with myself? If it seems interesting and enticing, go for it. Go meet new people. Try your hand at something new. You know what your strengths are. That's your gifts and talents. That's what they're based on. And we all have different ones, and it's so beautiful and holy and special. What would the world be without you? Emptiness. Emptiness. So what else did I want to hit from what I was listening to? Communication. Oh my goodness. If we could just express ourselves, share our thoughts, be honest with the people in our life, we would find our experience so much more blessed and holy. What happens is we clam up, we get angry, we get frustrated, and we don't talk. Big mistake. Big mistake. Because the grass is not greener on the other side of the fence. It isn't. You will only draw to you people that are going to serve you to heal, grow, and become the glory of God in a body. So remember to open up your communication skills. Speak from your heart. Speak from your heart, not from your head. When you speak from your heart, you're compassionate, your understanding of the trauma that other people are going through. People are suffering. They're suffering greatly because they don't know what you know. They don't know how to fix the pain. They try to keep so busy so that they don't have to face it. Claim love. Claim it for yourself, that you operate in it, you operate for it, you become it. You're not going to be weak. You be very strong, because love is the most powerful force in the universe. So first, we have to work out our own personal issues. We know what we need. We know what we think, and we know what our fears are. We know ourselves better than anybody will ever know us. Clean up house, kids. Clean it up. Don't make believe you're okay when you're not. Depend on you and your higher self to work everything out. And when people come to you and say something, consider it. They might be God speaking to you. We never know when God is speaking to us through someone else. So just like my experience today with this hour of a lady I never met in this lifetime, and I didn't recognize her really very much at all, spread out her whole story, her whole life story in that hour, because she felt safe. She knew that the person was going to listen to her, and she needed to speak about it. She was in a lot of pain. She missed a lot because of how she acted in her past, and she recognized it. She took that and realized that it wasn't just her husband and why he left, that she had a part in it. Everyone comes and goes at some point. Just remember that. But once they have touched your heart and you have touched theirs, that love will never go away. I don't care how many centuries pass, how many eons pass. Once you've loved someone, you will love them forever. So one of the biggest issues that we have, and it was kind of what the young girl was saying in the first film, and what we know from other discussions we've had here, we need to let others develop at their own pace, not judge them, not put them down, not try to overpower them, not try to become the big teacher for them. Honor them where they are. When you have a conversation with someone, feel them out where they're at. Drop little hints about things you want to talk about. And if you see they react, don't go there. Change the conversation, move it in another direction. Ask questions. Ask lots of questions, and they'll start talking to you, and you'll get to know them better and know where they stand so that you can share. You can share with them, but it'll be on their terms. You see, it'll be on their terms. And especially you already know that when somebody asks you a question and it's something about what you know, because God only brings us together with people that can share their life story, you have information because you've already gone through whatever it is that they asked. That is the gift we can give them. So this merging of the male and female, some of us long ago have actually merged the mystical marriage of the heart, meaning that our male polarity and our female polarity, different sides of the body, are harmonized, no longer battling the different polarities, that it has harmonized at the heart, and we're no longer at war with no matter what, if you're a woman body, you still have a man woman polarity within you, because this is opposites here. That's what attracts. And so when you attract people that you feel could not possibly be a representation of you, just know that magnetically you came together for a very important reason. What is it that they brought to you? And be honest with yourself. Because if we're not honest with ourselves and we make believe that, oh, I didn't see anything. No, didn't see, didn't hear, didn't say. That's not true. There's always something that is left behind for you to reflect on. So why did this person do that today? Why did they say what they did? Why did they treat me the way they did? Because they were showing us what we do to ourselves. We're very hard on ourselves, some of us. We expect perfection, and we drive ourselves to the ends of the earth to be perfect. What is perfection? It's different for each one of us. So there's beautiful radiance coming from the new sun that we have. And I actually had a conversation with the new sun, and he told me his name, and for some reason it's not coming to me right now. And he was saying that this goddess radiance is being given off to us from this beautiful new light that's coming into our atmosphere, our fields, and coming through our bodies. And this goddess energy is actually very beautiful for both male and females to work with. Remember, male and female. And that softening of the male and the masculine light that we had before was giving us that power to the goddess. We've had turns, for the male, and we had macho men kind of atmosphere in women and in men. And now it's going to be this feminine energy, which isn't that we're going to be girls, all of us. What it's going to do is bring in all of the aspects of the feminine: compassion, caring, understanding, all of the motherly love attributes. And that is a beautiful thing. That's really balanced, especially in a man that can be gentle and soft and loving. I knew this guy, he had a terrible situation with the woman he had a baby with. And he took that little boy and he loved him as much as a mother could love a child. They are best friends as adults, as the young boy became an adult, because of the love that this man was able to give him. He cooked, he cleaned, he did everything a mother would do. He gave up all of his relationships so that his child would have everything that he needs. It was very powerful to watch this. I watched it from the day the baby was born. It is a beautiful thing when you can do this. This man is wide awake. He is absolutely wide awake, just like you. And he understood what that child needed. And that's what he gave him. So in that mystical marriage is the union of the god and goddess. And this is where we're going. This is 5D, not mentality, but the way it works. That's the energy of 5D, where there's a merging of the two polarities, and it becomes one, so that it empowers whatever gender while you're in a body. And once you're out of a body, it doesn't have anything to do with gender anymore. You don't have a body to be in that place. There was a couple of things I really wanted to touch on. The reason I'm doing it this way is because I've gotten a lot of emails and texts and calls from all of, well, not all of you, but some of you, saying that this helps you to understand what is going on in the video. So this is why I'm bringing it in segments like this of what we learned together. Okay. So this was a big one for me. Confronting losing those you love. People have contracts that end, and you might not be the initiator of the ending, where you are the one that was going to end the relationship. And that is the person that actually feels it the most. The one that initiated the leaving is the one that felt very confident that that was where they're at. So when we can get to the point where we accept our life as it happens, we do the best we can with the relationships that we have. But if it doesn't work out, to understand it wasn't meant to be. And it does bring a lot of tears and just so hurt, and let all that go, because that's why it happens. We still have so much grief in us, so much pain that we haven't dealt with from childhood, from before we came here, from various times in our life when we really suffered at the hand of other people. And so whatever brings us that opportunity to cry it out and to relieve ourselves of the pressure of all those emotions, we are to look at it as a gift from God. You don't feel that way until you really start releasing the pain and suffering. And then when you're on the other side and you're all together again, it's like, I can't believe you left me. Well, I told you to come with me, but you didn't. And those are the conversation I hear when I talk to people on the other side. Yeah, trust. This is a big one, trust. Archangel Michael was talking about it, and the only way, and I learned this myself, the only way to trust others is to trust yourself first. Anything you want to see change in your life, you have to do it first, so that you can heal yourself of what stopped you from feeling that sense of trust or any other thing that you're working through. So I had a big issue with trust because I felt so displaced being on the earth. On everything people told me I knew wasn't true. And it was very difficult for me as a child to stay here. I didn't want to stay here. I had to learn to trust that my divine plan was for me to be here, and that I had work to do. I had healing to accomplish. And it meant that I had to be with other people so I could reflect off of them to see who I was and who I wasn't, what I wanted to be and what I totally did not want to be. And when I finally learned trust, it has been the greatest gift I've ever given myself. It's a wonderful and beautiful place to be. I had to work on that for a very long time. So our soul family, it doesn't end with just who's with us on the planet. There is a cosmic soul family. It is a universal. I mean, it's just so big and expansive. That's why I'm starting to recognize everybody that I see. I go, oh, for heaven's sakes, I know this person, but I never met them in this lifetime. It's because we all keep coming together because we know how to help each other. We're not strangers to each other. And once in a while, we bring in a new energy that we really don't remember or feel like we knew, but they came in for other reasons. Those are the agitators usually. And I'll tell you what, the people you think were your worst enemy, they were your cosmic friend, because they loved you enough to give you what you needed, not just what you wanted in life. Remember that. It's a biggie. The judgment. Oh boy, this one's a tough one. And it's something we work on till I think the day we step out of this physical suit that we're wearing. Judgment. Judgment is everyone says, well, I have to be able to, make a judgment call on things. And that's true. That is true. But the biggest mistake we make is we get it in our head and we're only thinking about what we would have done. And we say that person did this because of that, or that person said this because of this. But the truth is, we couldn't be farther from the truth. We have no idea of the complexity of why we're with anybody until it plays out. And then we look at it afterwards and we go, oh, I get it now. I see why they were with me. I see what we did together. It's always hindsight is 2020. So don't judge anything. Discern is another whole nother story. We have to discern what's right and wrong, what's good and evil, what would work or wouldn't work. That's discerning. And discernment lessons will always be ours until we master it. But judging is another level, a level that we don't want to go to. We don't want to say that we figured somebody else out, because honestly, we couldn't be farther from the truth. When we say, oh, they hated me, I know he hated me. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He just was there to show you something, to bring you a message, to help. Even the antagonists. So your sacred union, do you know what it is yet? What it's really referring to, all in its totality? It's the union of you with your divine self. It's that ultimate journey to the true you, the highest version of yourself, all the personalities that you've ever been, all of the lifetimes you've ever lived, all of the mastery you've ever obtained. That is the union that we're moving into. The union with the Christed one that you will be. The all-knowing, the all-loving, the all-blessing, a gift unto yourself and all others. The God or goddess within you, fully exposed, fully known and understood, a blessing to the world and all its inhabitants. Even the animals will recognize it in you. For as you reach a certain frequency, all life is recognizing the Christ in you. The light that is so bright, so brilliant, so beautiful. It has everything in it that is of goodness and glory. That is who you are. Now, all we have to do is reach that potential. Desire it. Ask God for it every day. Reach up to the sky and embrace your higher self. Feel that return flow of love. For all is waiting for you. Every angel, every archangel of light is waiting for you to ask, help me. I want to become the fullness of myself. And the entire universe is at attention and listening, responding, and bringing you everything you need. Nothing, no lack, no worry, no fear. You are free. Freedom comes from the inside, and then experience it outside in your world. You are like the sun in a darkened room. You light up the world with your beauty and your grace. When that is your potential in your mind that you want, it will be given in little increments so that you can adjust. Because remember, everything in nature moves very slowly. If you try to force a flower open, the petals just fall right off the stem. And that is how we are. We are unfolding from the inside out, completely turned inside out. There's nothing to hide. There's nothing to fear. You are totally and completely a channel of light. That is your potential. And in that light is everything you need to know, everything that you need to move forward, everything you need to do your missions. It's all in that light. It isn't a mental exercise. This is a spiritual experience, which has to be experienced, not learned. You can get information, which is very helpful, but the true essence is in your willingness to empty yourself of what you were, your past, so that you can become your potential. Never, ever say no, because the universe will respond to that. And everything will come to a screeching halt, and you will slowly drift back down into 3D. Oh, you don't want to go there, believe me. You don't realize because you're not in 3D, you're working in 4D, that others are not, and they're not experiencing life as you are. They're shaking in their pants. They don't know what to do. They are very, very frightened because the world is pretty scary right now. It's always been scary because the world was a workshop. It was where we were going to be molded into what we could be. And we had to learn all the lessons that life could bring you. And boy, oh boy, it seems endless, doesn't it? But with great joy in your heart, don't ever stop. Keep desiring to move forward and upwards. Bring your families with you in your heart. It's happening naturally. You don't have to worry about it. Anyone attached to your heart is moving with you. That's the grace that we bring. So the more people you're with, the more people you help. Without saying a word, just being. And we're going to see a video on just being in another forum. It is quite remarkable for us who are used to being doings. And it isn't about that. I believe Master Kuthumi is going to share that with us. I'll have to see who it is. I'll check it out. So, my beloved beings, I feel that that's enough for me. And although there's no stories already written, maybe, would you come up with a story? Anything in spirituality that you want to talk about? Anything that you see happening in your life that might be shifting? Anything that you've learned about yourself, about others, about life, Share it with us.